Hi, I'm Tom Bassett, and in this video, I'll be going through a hypothetical day in the life of a Salesforce Solution Architect. During this video, I'll be talking about fictitious projects for the companies Sale, Secator, and Metro. Typically, I'll have 3 to 4 projects at a time, and I'll be playing slightly different roles depending on the type of project it is, my particular skill set, the structure of the project team, and also the expectations of the customer as well. This does usually vary from project to project. Even though these companies may seem real, they are fictitious, and the scenarios that I'm going to be talking about are fictitious too. 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Scrum Time. Typically, every day starts following a morning tea or coffee with a scrum for each project. During this time, I'll be listening actively to those that are giving their scrum updates, and it usually entails around a format of what I did yesterday, what I'm working on today, and if there are any blockers. Also, during this initial part of my day, I tend to catch up on emails or Slack messages to ensure that my customers and team of colleagues have the support they need to be able to deliver the best work possible. During scrums as well, I will listen for particular triggers or highlights that draw my attention to a problem that is developing. So, for example, if somebody's talking about integrations, I'll listen closely to make sure that they aren't planning to use a generic account or something that could cause data skew. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. documentation time. During this fictitious day, this is a time block, and I use these quite regularly just to kind of plan my day and block out time for specific things. But this case, I'm going to use this time to focus on documentation. This could be a series of different things. So it could be a low-level design document, high-level design document, entity relationship diagram, user stories, or maybe something else slightly different. But ultimately, it kind of depends on the phases of the projects that I'm on as to what piece of document I'll be looking at. And ultimately, I kind of find that blocking things out with time slots helps me to plan my day and prioritize too. 11 a.m. till 12 p.m. user story playback. The time has come for me to lead a playback of user stories for Sale, which is a Sales Cloud project. It has account engagement and a integration, but this particular session will be with the marketing team. So I'll be homing in on the account engagement stories to make sure that the requirements are correctly defined, prioritized, and included within the statement of work or SOW for that particular phase of the project. It's really important at this point that the customer understands what I'm talking about. So if I'm using any technical jargon, whatever, I'll encourage them to stop me and make sure that they understand what I'm referring to. Because ultimately, if the user stories aren't correct, this doesn't lay a great foundation for the rest of the project. And this is usually where things start to go wrong. So it's important that we're both singing off of the same hymn sheet here. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. lunchtime. In order to recharge for an afternoon full of meetings, during this part of the day, I'll usually take a break, pop my feet up, and watch something on TV to totally switch off, recharge, and make sure I am prepared for the afternoon ahead. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. technical review. During this time, it's time to catch up with a fellow architect at Metro. During this session, we'll often debate stories marked for review. We'll discuss potential solutions. So for example, do we want to do something in flow or code and the benefit of one versus the other? We'll consider how to make the solution scalable. So for example, if the business processes change or the system suddenly grows, is the solution still going to fit? Is it still going to work? Is it something that's long-term sustainable ultimately? And this helps to ensure that we're not creating technical debt for ourselves as well. And as part of this, it just helps to be up to date with new features. So if there is a new release coming out during this time, I'll make sure that I carve out the time, perhaps block some time out during my day to review the release notes and making sure that I'm up to date on what's coming. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. integration design. As a B2B solution architect, I'm not necessarily all singing, all dancing when it comes to integrations. Some solution architects may have this skill, others may not. This is personally where I see quite a disparity within the ecosystem and the kind of expectation of a solution architect. But ultimately, during this slot on this fictional day, I'll be working alongside a system architect to map out the solution architecture diagram for sales sale. As I say, depending on your experience, you may do this yourself or you may hand it off to somebody else completely. But ultimately, that's kind of my current take of it as a B2B solution architect. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. demo time. This is time to demo for Secator, where in this case, I will be taking a comfortable seat and observing the consultant working through the lead to opportunity process. During this call, again, I'll be listening for key triggers or highlights where I want to interject or make a note of something that we could change to make the overall experience a little bit better. And I'll also be there to act as a technical escalation point in case the customer has any questions that maybe the consultant isn't able to answer kind of off the cusp. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. proof of concept time. During my earlier call with Mertural, I was asked to investigate the feasibility of a particular solution. So during this slot, and again, boxing out my day to plan my work and prioritize accordingly, I'm going to dive into my own sandbox to see what's possible. I love any opportunity I get to do this type of thing because ultimately I am playing in my own environment. I am not interrupting what the customer is currently doing or developing, and I have an up-to-date copy of their current setup. So in this case, I'm able to effectively test a couple of use cases on how I can open up record access. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learn a little bit more about the day in the life of a Salesforce Solution Architect. If you want to learn more, then do check out my article on Salesforce Ben. Thanks for watching.